Okay, is that it? Am I live? Well, we'll see how this goes. This is the first rejoined stream of AD Nightly, Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Nightly, if you've been listening for a while. Started the show back in 2015, about 10 smooth radio years ago. And since then, just doing my own thing, had multiple other podcasts, including the lunch program, and a couple radio programs. You've heard me on WRMN, a political talk show. My name is Ben, and this will just be my curt opinions on massive issues. Going to try to get to this to you daily. Just kind of my ideas about what's going on in politics, news. The news can't really get away from it, and also obviously pop culture. Why not? Just kind of going to talk about everything, mental health, and what you will go talking about every day. Anyway, again, thanks for being here. My name is Ben, and we're just going to go over a bunch of really just a couple stories here. Hit on what's going on. It's Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. It's my night, so that's something you can kind of observe, that I'm probably going to be going to sleep soon because I work overnight now. Got an overnight job to get a little more income flowing. Got some sweet benefits with health insurance and such. Got my name on my shirt now. You can see that. Cool. Real cool. And yeah, no complaints. Hanging out. Let's see, I'm getting a notification. If you want to reach out to me, just comment here. I'll try to get better at monitoring that, and also the production value. It will get better. I'm hoping. But okay, we're going to just start with going to The Guardian and take a quick rundown of what just is happening on The Guardian. TheGuardian.com is a great website to get your news. Leaning to the left, but in my opinion, fairly unbiased and quite balanced, I would say. So Trump, news at a glance. President says he wants Putin to stop shooting after talks with Zelensky. Trump expresses newfound sympathy for the Ukrainian counterpart, saying he wants to do something good for his country. Key U.S. politics stories from Sunday, April 27th, at a glance. So this is obviously from yesterday, but a lot more going on, which we'll get to other stuff as well. So Donald Trump appears to have warned Volodymyr Zelensky after the two presidents met at the Vatican, with the U.S. leader emerging from talks with a plea for Vladimir Putin, stop shooting. Trump on Sunday and Zelensky, quote, want to do something good for Ukraine and is, quote, working hard. And he also he was also, quote, surprised and disappointed that Russia continued to strike Ukraine after discussion between his peace envoy, Steve Witkoff, and Putin. Asked what he wants Putin to do, Trump replied, quote, well, I want him to stop shooting. He told reporters, sit down and sign the deal. We have the confines of a deal, I believe, and I want him to sign it and be done with it. Trump hints at 2-week goal to progress on Ukraine peace deal. While speaking to reporters, Trump hinted on a 2-week deadline to strike or at least make progress on a peace deal. Trump had previously threatened to walk away from negotiations if a swift agreement is not reached. So, yeah, if you've been living under a rock, this conflict has been going on for a few years now, and everybody just needs it to end for the betterment of humanity and society. So that's the latest on that. We'll see. What happens. I just read another story that said there's a supposed ceasefire on the 8th and 10th of May. Possible new pope on the 7th, so we'll see about that. So possible ceasefire on the 8th and 10th of May to celebrate World War II ending. And, that really is the unifier for the world, I feel like. So we can just kind of remember how bad it's been and that we've done a lot to make sure it's not like that anymore. That would be great. Let's see. And we're going to go now to, let's see, this is kind of an interesting story. I don't know if you heard about this. On Easter's Eve, or Easter night, the what is she? She's the defense. No, she's not. She's the Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's purse was stolen as she ate at a Washington D.C. restaurant. Officials said on Sunday. So Noem's purse was nabbed on Easter Sunday and reportedly contained about $3,000 in cash. Her keys, driver's license, passport, and Homeland Security badge. The Homeland Security Department said Noem had cash in her purse to pay for gifts, dinner, and other activities for her family on Easter. Behind the Trump protest movement that launched on Reddit. Also, oh wait, no, I'll give you a little bit more of a story because there's more to that. The Kristi Noem purse scandal. So her purse got caught, got nabbed, and apparently the suspect. Okay, so here goes the story. A suspect was taken into custody without incident in Washington after an investigation by the U.S. Secret Service and Metropolitan Police Department, according to a statement from Matt McCool, sweet name, bro, a Secret Service agent in Washington. There's no way that's real. Okay, that suspect was arrested on Saturday. The police department said. In a prepared statement, McCool called the suspect a, quote, serial offender and said there was no evidence that Noem had been targeted because of her position. Well, either way, I mean, I feel like someone in her position should maybe just not have had that happen. But, that's just my opinion on a giant issue, apparently. Just, how crazy is that someone in such a high status gets just, pickpocketed. Well, they got the guy. It seems like it was just another, another one of this serial offender's robberies. So that sucks. Gotta get a real job, I guess. Sucks, I know, but that's my take on that. Don't do crime, You're gonna do time that way. Okay, here's a messed up one. This is bad. Bad news out of Yemen, guys. Again, it's the 20th of April, and I saw this story pop up last night, so I'll just go right into it. For BBC.com, dozens of African migrants killed in U.S. strike on Yemen, Houthis say. So again, this is from BBC.com, and they're saying that the Houthis said that the U.S. did an airstrike, and here's the story. At least 68 African migrants have been killed in a U.S. airstrike on detention center in Houthi-controlled northwestern Yemen, the armed group's TV channel says. Al Mazariah reported another 47 migrants were injured, most of them critically. When the center in Sada province was bombed, it posted, posted graphic footage showing multiple bodies covered in the rubble of a destroyed building. There was no immediate comment from the U.S. military, but it came hours after U.S. Central Command announced that its forces had hit more than 800 targets since President Donald Trump ordered an intensification of the air campaign against the Houthis on the 15th of March. It said that the strikes had killed hundreds of Houthi fighters, numerous Houthi leaders among senior officials overseeing missile and drone programs. Houthi-run authorities have said the strikes have killed dozens of civilians, but they have reported few casualties among the group's members. The migrant detention center of Sada was reportedly holding 115 Africans when it was hit 4 times shortly before 5 local time on Monday, according to Al Mazira. The casualty reports could not be immediately verified, but Al Mazira's videos showed first responders recovering the bodies of at least a dozen men among pieces of concrete in the middle of the debris of the floor of a large building with partially destroyed walls and no roof. One injured man could be heard calling out, "My mother," in Amharic, Ethiopia's official language, according to Reuters news agency. At a local hospital, another injured man told Al Razaya, "The strike hit us while we were sleeping. That's it." The Houthi-run Interior Ministry condemned what is called, quote, deliberate bombing of the facility when it said it constituted a, quote, war crime. The UN's International Organization for Migration said it was deeply saddened by the reports of the tragic loss of life. While IOM has not been operating at this facility, we remain committed to closely monitoring the situation, standing ready, offer support as needed, it added. We call on all parties to the conflict to prioritize the protection of civilians and ensure full respect for international law. The International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, said teams from the Yemen Red Crescent Society provided life saving support by evacuating the wounded to hospitals and were ensuring a dignified management of the dead. It added that the detention facility was run and supervised by local authorities, and it was previously stated by ICRC as part of its work ensuring humane detention conditions. So, very terrible, not good, very bad news that, it's, God, we're just so desensitized to it, which sucks. And it's all there in the story. It's gotta change. Image wise, not good. And we're just so far in the wrong direction. And not all of it's this administration's fault, but they really grabbed the ball and kept running the same direction, didn't they? It's really sad to see. Scary as an American. The economy is crazy. I'm working overnight as well as all day long, and then doing this show just to make sure I don't feel like I'm doing nothing. And it sucks. It sucks because we all work so hard to, I don't know, get this bad rap of and what are we but hogtied, I guess, here. Really not cool. The government. I wish you wouldn't do that, the government. But at least be informed. Don't be afraid to talk about things. Be afraid to sue the government and maybe get all the way to the Supreme Court, like this cool story from APnews.com. So this story. The FBI mistakenly raided their Atlanta home. Now the Supreme Court will hear their lawsuit. Before dawn on October 18th, 2017, FBI agents broke down the front door of Trina Martin's Atlanta home, stormed into her bedroom, and pointed guns at her. Her then-boyfriend and her 7-year-old son screamed for his mom from another room. Martin, blocked from comforting her son, cowered in disbelief for what she said felt like an eternity. But within minutes, the ordeal was over. The agents realized they had the wrong house. On Tuesday, an attorney for Martin will go before the U.S. Supreme Court and ask the justices to reinstate her 2019 lawsuit against the U.S. government, accusing the agents of assault and battery, false arrest, and other violations. A federal judge in Atlanta dismissed the suit in 2022, and the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals upheld the decision last year. The Supreme Court agreed in January to take up the matter. Key issue before the justices is under what circumstances people can sue the federal government in an effort to hold law enforcement accountable. Martin's attorneys say Congress clearly allowed for those lawsuits in '74 after a pair of law enforcement raids on a wrong house made headlines, and blocking them would leave little recourse for families like her. Let's see. So this case will be heard by the Supreme Court. Martin, 46, said she and her then-boyfriend, Toy Clayat, and her son were left traumatized, saying, quote, "We'll never be the same mentally, emotionally, psychologically," she said Friday at the neat stucco home that was raided. "Mentally, you can suppress it, but you can't really get over it." She said Clayat pointed where they were sleeping, and the agents broke in and into the master bathroom closet where they hid. Martin stopped coaching track because of starting pistol reminded her of the flashbang grenade the agent set off. Jeez. Clayat, now 54, said he couldn't sleep, forcing him to leave his truck driving job. Saying, quote, "The road is hypnotizing," he said of driving tired. Quote, "I became a liability to my company." Martin said her son became extremely anxious, pulling threads out of his clothes and peeling paint off walls. Clayat initially thought the raid was a burglary attempt, so she ran towards the closet where he kept a shotgun. Martin said her son still expressed fear. She could have died had she confronted the agents while armed. So other U.S. Appeals courts have interpreted the law more favorably for victims of mistaken law enforcement raids, creating conflicting legal standards that only the nation's highest court can resolve. They say public interest groups across the ideological spectrum have urged the Supreme Court to overturn the 11th Circuit ruling. Um, let's see. After breaking down the door to the house, the member of the FBI SWAT team dragged Cleot out of the closet and put him in handcuffs. One of the agents noticed he did not have the suspect's tattoos, according to the court documents. He asked for Cleot's name and address. Neither matched those of the suspect. The room went quiet as agents realized they had raided the wrong house. Okay, so that'll be the story, the last story, and what I give my opinion on, I guess, is because I delivered food during the pandemic. I've been a pizza delivery man. I think it's no comparison to say that between that and raiding someone's house or trying to find really a dangerous person. It's serious business. There's a time and a place for it, and you just really can't make a mistake like that. It's like, some things, some things should be held to a higher standard, and that is definitely one of them. So ridiculous. I hope that they get a favorable outcome to that. And it's what is the lose in this situation? It's a win-win. Get people interacting better with the police, and also communities coming together. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough out there. I'm not a fan of any of these situations. Thank God no one was hurt. And yep, this is AD Nightly. AD Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Nightly with yours truly, Ben. We're back, baby. All right. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow.